was wonderful about that was being able to play a different color and open up the hope, the love, the connection, wanting that to happen. And I kept hoping for some love scenes, but we couldn't seem to find any actress available who wanted to do those with me. But we're hoping.
You were grieving.
I could have get over my grief with a love scene with somebody.
Maybe in the director's cut. But Hey, this is Sam Stone here at San Diego Comic-Con 2024 with the cast and creative team behind Snowpiercer, which the fourth and final season you can catch now on AMC on Sundays and catch old episodes on AMC+. So it's a heck of a thing for a show that started out on this train speeding around the globe to keep from freezing. We finally see them literally stop and smell the roses, take a moment to breathe, at least like Leighton and Roche and everybody. What was it about kind of starting season 4 on this more peaceful note that we so rarely get in Snowpiercer?
It just seemed like fitting. Early on in the series, Melanie comes out and tells everybody on the train the future is outside. And so we wanted to show that future and deliver it. And all of the hardship that everyone went through for the first 3 seasons, when they landed at the end of season 3 in this beautiful warm pocket, we wanted to show that they actually succeeded and built something great, and it worked.
Yeah, we needed to have a happy place to fight for just a short moment in the beginning, and then the happy place is under so evil attack, and the attack goes a whole season. So there's it's a long battle. We built in an old quarry this amazing town in the middle of nowhere, and suddenly we can see train cars from the outside, and we don't see them from the inside only anymore. And it's just like it was a conscious decision to start to establish the new world, what's worth fighting for, and then we ran the train.
Really Snowpiercer it up.
Yes.
Well, and like, how is it playing that? Because when we see everybody's got their, I want to say happy ending, but it's the season premiere. I mean, you've got Till with Audrey, you've got everybody in New Eden, and then you kind of, as you surmised, and as the first episode has since revealed, cruelly take it away. How is it operating from a heightened sense of loss after playing those happier colors at the start of the shoot?
Yeah, I mean, it was so nice, the first parts of shooting, because this show has never been like that, right? So just to really get to have nice times and like casual conversations and go to the market and like, you know, play with the kids, like it was so nice. And so as the Snowpiercering continued, like you did palpably feel the loss also, just in terms of like, it was literally just enough shooting days, I feel like, to get like a false sense of security, like, oh, maybe this is the show we're on. And then there you go. Then I'm cutting people up again.
I actually don't feel like Till was having so much. I mean, she was with Audrey and they were in love. But I think there's this really lovely moment that we kind of captured in the first scene where you see in one of the experiential rooms, and you see Till sort of looking out at this fake nature, and it's sort of like there's a little bit of a crack of like maybe I think she just misses Leighton, honestly.
Yep.
Yeah, Till definitely misses Leighton. But that maybe staying on the train wasn't, it's sad. She's away from all her friends, nature.
Well, in terms of that, like, instability, I mean, as a brakeman, Roche always had that. And now he's off a train. And, of course, now he finds himself more driven than ever, having tasted utopia. But he's also coming from a place of grief coming off season 3. Like, how is it? That's a lot to play, Mike.
The people who are making the show love making this show. And the fact that, I think, as Christoph and Paul were talking about, just being able to expand the universe so that we were doing something different allowed us to embrace these different opportunities. There was something about Snowpiercer that I think was coming off of, obviously, the inspiration of the movie, which was a very rigid world where rules had to be followed, and it was a separation of classes. And then, of course, as motivated and led by, David's character, it really opens people up to a different way of thinking. And so for me, what was wonderful about that was being able to play a different color and open up as some of these other guys have talked about, the hope, the love, the connection, wanting that to happen. And I kept hoping for some love scenes, but we couldn't seem to find any actress available who wanted to do those with me. But we're hoping for, while I was grieving, and yes. I could have get over my grief with a love scene with somebody, but
maybe in the director's cut. But every season offers a chance for a soft reset. You get to remix the direction. You get to remix the cast. And speaking of the cast, obviously you've got Clark Gregg, and anyone who's expecting touchy-feely Agent Coulson is not going to get touchy-feely Agent Coulson this season. Like, how is it like bringing him into the cast and playing him in a way that we haven't really seen before?
We wanted that feeling of structure and rigidness and military authority, and I knew Clark could do it. I mean, he's a 5-tool player like everybody on this cast. I mean, he can do it all. And he was game. He came in, he's like, this is cool. Like, I don't mind being a douche. This is great. I want to do this.
3 seasons we only thought there's a Snowpiercer, that's it, that's the last survivors. And now we have new survivors, which I think we needed to open the new season and say, okay, everyone got along at the end of season 3, and we introduced kind of other humans which were out there, and Clark was leading them, and I think that created a complete new dynamic for everything.
Is this the most time you've played a single character, and like how is it having that real estate to find new depths and new directions and nuances to each of your characters 4 seasons deep?
It's dreamy. I think as an actor, the dream is you get that long a time to really develop and really change, that you can. Bess Till in episode 1, season 1, very, very different from how she ends up. Not just the hair, but also her heart and what motivates her. And yeah, she's been through so much. And I think also as an actor, you just it's so rich. When you learn new skills and you learn from your other castmates and from your director and your writer, it's just, it's like the best office job in the world.
David, how about you? Leighton's come a long way since investigating a murder mystery 4 seasons ago.
Yeah. When you're doing a film, or even if you're on a show that's 1 season or something, there's like a summer camp aspect about it. There's like this is a break from my regular life. And then sometime around like the 2nd season of a TV show, you're like, no, my whole life is happening at the same time, and this is my job and my life. And it's a very, very different experience, but what's wonderful about it is that all of your life stuff finally bleeds into the character. And there's this like very unique working relationship in television where as the actor grows, the writers and creatives get to see what's happening and use that and feed it back into like this thing happened on set the other day. Let's put that in this later episode. Now like that's how the characters grow, is really as we're just living. And so, so it was really lovely to get to spend this many years with Leighton, and sort of I grew up a whole lot, and so Leighton got to grow up a whole lot too.
Yeah, I mean the world is a lot different than when Snowpiercer first premiered. Like it feels like dog years almost, like looking back, right? Like going into this, how was it kind of creating a satisfying button to these lives and characters we've gotten to know for, like half a decade now?
We know them so well. We, as people working on the show, but the audience knows these characters very, very well. And I think Paul created a journey for us to find through hell and super entertaining thrill rides through the whole season, a very satisfying end to it. Something where when I watch the last episode, I have always a tear. Not only one, but on the other side, because I love these people so much, and it's kind of goodbye. But on the other side, I see where they landed and how they have grown, and that is something which makes, I think that's what we try to do, is to create some kind of satisfying happiness, but I have to say, not all of them survive. So it's more.
It is Snowpiercer,
right?
I mean, there are 3 options on the table when you start something like this, right? It's like it's a dream, it's the afterlife, or they're all rolling around on a train inside Winnie's snow globe. And so, spoiler, we picked the snow globe. Like, it is what it is. And that was that.
That St. Elsewhere for all you younger audiences out there. Check it out. Yeah. Mike, how about you? I mean, and I feel like, and this actually goes to, all the actors, I feel like this has got to be, every season's got to be an intense shoot. Because, you've got action, there's always real emotions on the line. I feel like you always have to be dialed up to 11. How is it, kind of prepping yourself, okay, we're about to shoot Snowpiercer, let me get in that mode. How is it kind of, getting in that mindset?
Well, I think all the actors were really great. And I think one of the great things about season 4 is that, when you're on a team, one of the wonderful things about being on a team is you want, baseball metaphor, somebody else to get the game-winning hit. You want each person to get that game-winning hit, have a big moment. And so many of the actors in this season get to shine in moments where, and combinations of, because of the storytelling, different people having scenes together, where, my first scene I had ever had with Roberto was in the opening episode, and then we have some subsequent scenes after that, right? Because he's up in the engine and I'm someplace else, and now we're in New Eden, and I got to have some other scenes with Sam. And that was really, really wonderful. But I think that you just have to be incredibly alert, because when you're in an ensemble that has that many, there's only so much time in an episode, you better be great or you won't be in that episode. Because
that happens quickly.
Yes.
What I love about Snowpiercer is it feels, once you're off to the races, the train premise feels apt because it's an engine. Every episode ends on something, both in terms of direction, writing, acting, that makes you want to tune in next week. Is it, at this point, 4 seasons in, have you kind of got that down to a science?
No.
and this season we left the train, so it's a different thing. But I agree with you. That was always, as long as the train was running, there was no escape. It was splitting and then getting together again. But it was always a train, and I think that's different. But I think we kind of figured it out too, that it's still, you have to keep tuning in, because the train is not running all the time, because we are in New Eden, but the time is.
To catch that last ride, watch Snowpiercer Sundays on AMC, episodes on AMC Plus afterwards. This is Sam Stone at San Diego Comic-Con 2024. Y'all, thanks for taking the time to speak with me today.